It's so lovely to be here with you today, and thank you so much for your patience with everything. So I'd love to ask you a question. Have you ever been to an event or a retreat and you felt amazing, like you were wrapped up in this cocoon and this bubble, and you've had this full immersion and you felt like your whole life was never going to be the same, like you've just experienced a huge transformation. But then you go home, you go back to reality, you get caught up in everyday life, and then a few days, weeks, months later, you feel like everything is exactly the same, like nothing has changed. It's so hard to keep the momentum, and you feel like changes and the high of the transformations are just like, poof, they've just all gone, and it's like back to the start again. So a big part of the work that I do is all about the integration and implementation. It's all about the changes that are made after the session and the daily habitual layer stacking that all adds up to long-term and lasting changes. This is where integration and implementation is so important. And this is where the habits are formed for those lasting and lifelong changes. While working at home post-session with my clients, we continue the results by changing the patterns, behaviors, and thought processes. Because otherwise, if you've always done what you've always done, you'll always get the same results, same actions, and live in the same habits. So today, I'd love to share with you a really beautiful technique that I love and one that I use quite a lot with my clients, but I also use it in my everyday life. It's super quick and easy to do, and it literally only takes 5 minutes. You can do this anywhere, at any time, and nobody even needs to know that you're doing a different breathing technique. And you can do it if you're stuck in traffic, if your kids are going crazy, or you're just frustrated at work. You can always default back to this breathing technique. And what I'd love to share with you is the coherence breathing technique. The coherence breathing technique is so important because it relates to the heart coherence and that full body cohesion. The heart has a significant influence on the body right down to the cellular layer, which means that if you can tap into that heart coherence, which is the relationship between your heartbeat and the other rhythms in your body, such as your breathing rhythm, you can physiologically alter the body. So in effect, the higher your heart coherence, the more coherent your heart is beating, and the more regulated your breathing is, the more balanced you are emotionally and mentally. And everybody needs a good breathing technique in their daily routine. I definitely needed this one tonight. By bringing the mind-body connection into balance, the easier your entire body can be brought back into balance, and adding in this breathing technique to your daily practice can help to provide easy emotional regulation and a quick reset to allow you to be the best you daily. By bringing the body into balance, you are going to be less reactive to things in everyday life. And then if an event happens that triggers you, you're just able to ride through that wave of emotions a lot faster and a lot easier and return to a balanced state faster. So rather than being stuck in your head and ruminating over an event that has happened continually, feeling like you're stuck replaying that event over and over again, you're able to acknowledge the event, tune into the feelings of that event, and then be able to process and move through them. You're resetting your nervous system in real time, which is such a crucial life skill. So I'd love for you to join me in the coherence breathing as I share this with you today and give you a really quick demo. So just starting off by closing down your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose. So making sure that you're focusing on nasal breathing as many times as you possibly can throughout the day. Start to tune your attention and your awareness onto the breath. Feel a warm air moving in and the cool air moving out of the nose. Really start focusing on taking that breath deeper, lower, and slower. So really starting to feel as though you're breathing all the way from your diaphragm. Feel the stomach expand as you're inhaling and concave as you're exhaling. And we're going to transition to breathing in for the count of 5 and out for the count of 5. So I will count you through. So breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in, pull that breath lower and slower from the stomach. 4, 5, breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. So when you do this at home, set a timer for at least 5 minutes. Just bringing your awareness back into that breath now. Allowing yourself to return to that natural breathing rhythm. And taking a nice deep breath in through the nose. Breathing out through the mouth. Just releasing anything with it as you're following through the breath. You can take another deep breath in through the nose. Breathe out through the mouth. And one more breath. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the mouth. So adding in that nice philosophical sigh at the end really also helps to reset the nervous system. So the 5-5 breathing is something that you can add into your daily routine. You can set that time aside and set the timer for 5 minutes every day and focus on this. And also, whenever something's coming up and you feel like you need to be able to center back into the body and tune back into the breath, you can really focus back in on that breathing. So just breathing in for the count of 5 and breathing out for the count of 5. So quite often people will tend to breathe more shallow breathing up from their chest area. So what you want to focus on is really pulling that breath as deep as you possibly can, all the way from the stomach. So you're really moving that diaphragm, really starting to get that breath circulating through the body. The more that you're focusing on that deep breathing, the less you're shallow breathing. So you're actually moving yourself out of that heightened state of that stress response, and you're moving yourself into that state of rest and digest, and that's calm state, which is where ultimately everybody wants to be. So you totally can bring a sense of calm into your everyday life. You don't need to have really big changes to be able to make little changes within your life. And so for me, I'm all about how can change be easy and simplified for people? Because quite often it can be really overwhelming to feel like you have really big things that you need to be doing in your life when you already feel so stretched, so burnt out, so overwhelmed. That to-do list is never ending. So by bringing your sense of calm back into everyday life, it truly is the gift that keeps on giving. So I'd love to know how you enjoy this technique, and I'd love for you to use it and try it anytime you feel like you're in your head or you're shallow breathing, you're feeling stressed or anxious, or like you just need a really quick reset. So give it a go. I'd love for you to reach out and let me know how you found that technique and how it's helped you. So at my talk at the Women Thrive Summit, I would love to share some more practical tips and techniques on how you can really connect back into you and really make change sustainable in an easy way for your life. Thank you.